Hello fellow creatives, today I have decided to share my views on some key ingredients of creativity from an amazing book that I recently read, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you are like me who is obsessed with living a life full of creativity, you have got to read this book, and it will inspire you in so many ways to be open to your inner creativity. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and keep living a creative life. In this great read, Gilbert has divided the book into several ingredients of creativity, one of which is courage. But before we go over courage, we need to understand the role of fear in our creative lives. Imagine yourself as your favorite plant. Your seeds have been planted in the ground and you are on to an amazing start of your journey and relationship with the earth. The seeds are starting to get settled in and trying to find their place in the soil and gets ready for the process of growing. The seeds of our beautiful plant are now going through a stage of fear. The fear of being dug deep under the ground in darkness. The fear of change. The fear of being cracked open and fear of being unable to find light, water, and essential nutrients. And most importantly, the fear of acceptance and recognition, which is what we go through every day in our lives. We go through the fear of what others might think of us when we decide to do something out of the ordinary. We are afraid if we will gain acceptance in our society due to the changes we are encountering. In this state of fear, it's a courage that plays a major role. The author describes in her book that fear will always be along for the ride with us and we should always welcome and accept it. But in the face of fear, we need to let our creativity be at the forefront. Fear is definitely allowed to have a place in our lives, but it's not going to make the decisions for us. Rather, it's our creativity that needs to be the sole driver of our journey. Enchantment is another important ingredient which Gilbert talks about. Creativity is a magical force which is much bigger than what we give it credit for. A creative idea is like a magnet looking for its right partner. Once inspiration strikes and we come up with a great idea, it's up to us to act on it and turn it into something novel. Remember the time when you captured a creative thought and believed you have come up with a great idea? But then you put it off for a few days and lose its spark. Years later, you see an article of a person claiming a new invention which was exactly the same as your idea that you had. Shocked? Don't be. Inspiration and creative ideas are not going to wait for you to act on them. If you delay it, the inspiration will then lose its faith in you and move on hunting for its new partner. This is why it's magic. As soon as you are hit by that spark, capture it and work on it till you see the final outcome. The third important creativity ingredient is persistence. Whenever we think about creativity, we always imagine the ideal situation of beautifully crafting a piece of art, writing poetry in a relaxed environment by the lake, or playing a musical instrument for calmness and peace. Although all this is true, but as creatives we need to understand that there are often challenges and frustration that comes along when we are on a creative journey. And this is where our real creativity is put to test. A diamond can only become a diamond when it goes through intense pressure, and a seed can only turn into a beautiful flower when it stays patient and consistent. Similarly, in order to achieve something great and create something new, we need to stay persistent. To live a life filled with creativity, don't focus on the end goal. Rather, fall in love with what you are doing and enjoy every step of the journey, whether good or bad. The author quotes a commentary from the Nobel laureate Seamus Heaney, who said that when one is learning how to write poetry, one should not expect it to be immediately good. The aspiring poet is constantly lowering a bucket only halfway down a well, coming up time and again with nothing but empty air. The frustration is immense, but you must keep doing it anyway. After many years of practice, Haney explained, the chain draws unexpectedly tight, and you have dipped into waters that will continue to entice you back. You will have broken the skin on the pool of yourself. This ties back to the idea of always looking at our challenges and problems as means to be more creative. The more consistent we are in facing the hard times, the more creative we will turn out to be in our lives. Being persistent will give us the strength to solve anything with a creative mindset. To sum up these insights, like a plant which requires regular watering and access to sunlight, we humans require inspiration to keep our creativity alive. Elizabeth Gilbert beautifully quotes that your creativity is way older than you are, way older than any of us. Your very body and your very being are perfectly designed to live in collaboration with inspiration. And inspiration is still trying to find you, the same way it hunted down your ancestors. Like a growing plant survives with its seeds, access to water and sunlight, similarly we humans require constant doses of inspiration to breathe life to the seeds of creativity planted inside of us. These seeds are pieces of jewels hidden inside us, and as the author puts it, creative living is the process of uncovering these jewels. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I highly recommend reading this amazing book. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the thumbs up button. Please share this video and help everyone around the world to look inside creativity.